order at 7:05. And we will stand and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Hi, everyone. So it seems like we were together not too long ago because we just met April 25th. So we'll just get started. April's action items. So there were only a couple. Let's see. I did look at them. Bear with me a second here. Arrange dates to meet with Ann Warner. I sent her an email not long ago. Yeah, as soon as I hear from her and just see what her availability is, I will let you know. I thought that made more sense than reaching out to you guys because, she's not available at the end of June. And I did say the end of June, beginning of July, just because I know there are other things going on with people. So, and then we have discussed chiller, heating, and financing. So have we heard anything on that?
Not that one, no. Other projects, yes.
Okay. So that's still there.
Chiller ongoing.
Ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's where we're at. For under old business SMP, I received an email from Jason just reaching out, seeing how we were doing, if there's anything. I haven't heard anything from Paul after our meeting. I don't know if he's given any thought to what's going on. If you just, when you see him, if you ask him, if there's any progress or thought in that direction, because I really don't have anything to report back to Jason. We're just sort of in a holding pattern right now, waiting to see how the town would like us to proceed. So, but I'll just email him back and let him know that. Strategic plan is C. We just talked about that. Chiller, talked about that. And we're on to maintenance project quotes, which do you want to do that now or do you want to do it in your director's report?
We can do it whenever you want.
Let's do it now.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. So
we are up to
E, maintenance project quotes under old business.
Gotcha.
So I sent around some images of iron railings
Mm-hmm.
for the interior, just to give them a place, or to give you a place to start in terms of thinking, what do you want?
Yeah, I guess I was hoping that they would kind of send us a picture of what we were going to get for the amount of money we were originally quoted. Where these seem very ornate, and I think we were just like, is it going to be standard? What exactly is the one that we were quoted going to look like? Do they have anything like that? Did someone else expect something different?
Well, these didn't, we're getting quotes for a railing that's going to be outdoors, is that?
That's
No,
a separate one.
Yeah.
We're talking about the going downstairs.
Oh, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about going downstairs to the children's room.
So the quote they gave us was for a very basic one, right? I think we just wanted to see, do they have just a quick image of what that's going to look like? I don't know that we're going to design anything stunning, and we're certainly not going to hire an architect like they recommended to do it. So I think it was more just, here's the basic. You can get a rounded thing for $100 more. What are the of the
Yes.
basics? What are the basic ones that we can do?
Okay.
Yes.
I'll go back.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
I
didn't
think that
finish this one.
that's okay.
Okay. The other thing is the carpet.
I thought that looked great.
Doesn't it look
I
Yes.
really liked it. And I love that they can give us a rendering of what that's going to look like. It's really nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
Mhm.
So this is what we're planning for mid-September. And I wrote to you that the vendor is saying that we have to close the building for a week. And hopefully what we'd like to do is get the staff areas finished sooner because then we can put our computers back and work remotely. Right now,
Mhm.
if everything has to be emptied out of my
Mhm.
office, for example, then the computer is
Mhm.
also unplugged and everything. So, but that's still months away. But wanted to let you know what we're thinking, and that it's going to take a while to order it, and then we also want to avoid summer reading and
Mhm.
needing to close the building or disrupt any
Mhm.
programs or staff, patrons during the summer.
Mhm.
That doesn't work, obviously.
Just
So-
for an informational point, when they put in the carpet, it's going to be panels or blocks, right?
Yes.
So if something is ruined, will we have the blocks to replace the areas to replace them, or will we have to call them back in to replace it?
I don't know that, but I have a box of these strips in my office.
Okay.
right now.
So that, just so
So-
that if they discontinue it or, I'm just
Right,
wondering
right.
what the
Mhm.
long-term plan is that we have those available.
Yeah.
So, okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, I chose this type of carpet because you can take
Mhm.
a block out,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope it's understood that they're gonna leave us some
Yeah.
blocks, but we'll make
Yeah.
sure that they do.
Okay, great.
Yep.
All right, great.
Um,
And I think that when I was reading your report, not to jump ahead,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you were talking about all the different possible ways that that the library can still meet people's needs with curbside pickup and stuff. And I think that after what we
Mhm.
went through the last 2 years, I know
Mhm.
your staff and you are more than capable of figuring out ways where we can give people service even when they can't come into the building. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is, as we get closer to the date, we'll know more the order of the project,
Mm-hmm.
so that and as far as I know, the carpet is gonna be cut around bookcases, so we don't have to
Mhm.
move bookcases, which will make it
okay.
a little faster,
Mhm.
but,
Great.
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
makes sense.
Just trying to see where else we are. Okay, and the outlets have not been changed yet. The magazine shelving is in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think really the impact fire one, do you want us to take a look at that?
That's a new one. That's
Okay.
not the fire panel. That is another project where if you look at the second sheet, which is a floor plan of the lower level, the green circles and triangles in the children's room and in the children's workroom are where they want to add the horn and light, the strobe light. The red triangles are where the strobe lights are that exist now. So there's a strobe light in the hallway, in the restrooms, but nothing actually in the children's room.
Mhm. Okay. So can you just give us, I know you said it in your email, but a little background. Were they in doing a test on something, or how did this?
To be honest, this was something Joanne was working on.
Okay.
And she's not in right now.
Okay.
So she didn't fill me in on why they came up with this quote. But they did do the fire panel, so it's
Mhm.
probably related to the fire panel when they had to walk the building
Mhm.
and make sure everything was working, and then not seeing strobes in the children's room or the
Mhm.
workroom because
Mhm.
they're looking at all the other strobes that
Mhm.
would be going off when
Yeah,
they test the panel.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to do this, right?
Yes.
We have
Yeah,
to,
I
it's
think
really
so.
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
just have to figure out where we're taking the money from to.
Yep.
Here we are again. This feels like deja vu, so.
yes.
But again, once again, I'm glad that the fire panel was in. I'm really happy to have that just done, and we certainly have to make sure that we have the appropriate signaling items
Mhm.
in there. So,
Oh, yeah.
so it's $2,294. what do we have that we can work with? We
So
did,
this is only the fixed rate.
And
Pardon me?
It's only the
wiring?
fixed, it's only the fixed price rate. It can vary, so the variables are not added yet.
what do you mean?
You see in the second page, it says fixed price per quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look into the scope of work exclusion,
Okay.
so some,
Yeah, I mean,
some
things-
rates they haven't
Mhm.
quoted.
Well, I think that they gave us this quote a week ago. I think that
Mhm.
if we,
I got it today.
oh, today.
Yeah.
Okay, so the site survey was made, you got it today, the 17th. The site survey was done a week ago, excuse me. And the quote is valid until August. So I think if we were to take a vote and proceed, I would be very surprised if things went up that much between now and when they went forward. So let's go with the price of the quote, because I think that's the best way, and we can always make changes if we have to. But we need to figure out where we have money in our budget that we can use towards that. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Deb.
I mean, we know we were going to probably have some money left over at the end of this fiscal year, right? And we had thought we could use
Yeah.
it towards the chiller and whatnot, but we do need to take care of safety first, so.
I know. We're just getting down to the end, so it's like,
Mhm.
I want
Mm.
to see where it's
Mm-hmm.
just waiting to see how everything falls out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do we have any open POs that are just sitting out there, or have we done such a good job cleaning those up that we
Yeah.
might not?
I don't think so. There's not too many. In fact,
Well, the Atkinson carpet, we know there's funding money there that Joanne was working with. We're already moving stuff out of that.
Yeah, we already moved many. I mean, we could take it from the other outside service, the SMP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
There's 2,300. I mean,
Yeah.
essentially, it's around 2,300. So that still leaves a big chunk there.
Yeah, right, because I don't want to just, that, we are going to need that if we're moving forward, for sure. But on any sort of site surveys and building projects. So there's $44,849 in the open PO 19201725. So
192,
01725. So should we move that into building maintenance?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that we move, should we do the exact amount, or do people feel like we should put a little leeway in there just because of the possibility of price changes?
Well, were you looking at putting it into the maintenance building and grounds?
Yes.
I think you could get away with just saying like 23 because there's already the excess from the carpet
Okay.
in that line.
So I will make a motion that we move $2,300 from PO 19201725 to a PO, we'd want to, I guess, do it for a PO for this company. I'm trying to think of the best way to move it from an open PO. Do we just move it right back into our budget? Or do we move it into a PO for,
I don't know.
I'm sorry, my brain is scrambled right now on the best way to move this around.
Yeah, I mean, we would need to email Tom the minutes with his
Yeah,
approval
yeah.
and then ask him to change the amount on the SMP PO
Mm-hmm.
with the intention that we're going to create another PO for this project.
Okay, So we're going to remove $2,300 from that current open PO to maintenance, buildings and grounds, which is 15-8321, that account, with the intention of using it to pay for these strobe lights as per our quote from Impact Fire.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Gotta do it.
Okay. All right, so all those in favor? Okay, 400.
Okay.
All right, are there any other current, as of this minute, maintenance things?
I don't think so.
Okay. You know, I'm joking, but it is good to get these things done, so
Yeah.
thank you for that. Okay. Moving on to new business. Policy review, you sent us a volunteer policy.
Yep.
Was there something that precipitated this, or were you?
Oh, this was the oldest one. It was 2016 was the last time this
Mhm.
policy was updated, and just kind of going through them all. So what we used to have was a policy and an application and an agreement, which I think were a little bit too confusing. Very recently I had a parent contact the library, and they turned in an agreement, which would be way after the fact. So I think the way in 2016, the way we were trying to work with volunteers is a little different than now.
Mhm.
But still a good policy to have. We don't have a lot of volunteers, so I tried to streamline the application and clean up the policy a little bit.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Yvette?
I mean, right now, I have, it's really the book sale.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the project that if volunteers contact me, that's the project they can work on. We don't have a lot of work in the library that
Mhm.
can be performed by volunteers
Mhm.
because it's staff work.
Mhm. Understood.
Mhm.
Okay. So I will make a motion that we accept the volunteer policy.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I have one
Sure.
question. So I know that email came through from
Yep.
regarding that criminal background check at their own expense. So I
Oh.
understood that it has already been passed, the bill did not go through and
No.
everything, yes, so,
It didn't.
yeah. But what I was thinking is, like, I don't know if this is an option, like, they do that on their own, can the library reimburse them if they become volunteers now?
If you decide to, right now the library reimburses staff that we hire for the background check. But if the board wants to, then we can do that.
Mhm. I have no strong feeling either way. I can see pros and cons for both. So, yeah, not.
I don't have any opinion either way.
Mhm.
I mean, given that the jobs can't or the volunteers can't replace what a staff member would do, you don't get a lot of volunteers. It's like they
No.
want a page, they want to help in that way.
Stamp books.
Exactly.
Do reference.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
So they can't do that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. So what if somebody volunteers for the book fair, oh my gosh, two worlds collide, for the book sale? Are they really volunteering for us, or are they volunteering for the Friends? If the Friends come in, they don't have to do this, right?
they're usually with the Friends,
Mhm.
and they're members of the Friends, and membership doesn't require a background check in the Friends.
Mhm.
And other times we've had students from Impact come. They've helped at the book sale. They've helped at turkey shoots. Same with Boy Scouts. And they're really under the authority of a school or their troop. So we've never had to do that. We've never required a background check. And for someone under 18, you can't get a background check. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a whole different
Yeah.
set of paperwork,
Mhm.
which is a little more intensive.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know, Sohini. I don't have strong feelings
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah, because if somebody really wants to volunteer, they said, oh, you need a background check, and you have to pay for it, then they might say, okay, I will not volunteer. let me
Sometimes,
leave."
yeah. And the volunteer, I mean, it's been so long since we've had a volunteer ask about it. I think it's like maybe $10 to do a background check if you're a volunteer. There's a prorated.
Oh.
It's the staff one is 75.
Mhm.
Right? Is that right? 25. To get a notary, the background check is 75. I think it's 25. But it's up to you. It's up to the board.
I don't know, there are some schools, I don't think in New Hampshire, I don't know that, but at least the ones that I've dealt with and I know about, don't require it, but I have some friends that live in Pennsylvania, and that when they wanted to just volunteer for the school, they had to have a background check, and they had to pay for it. So that was the stipulation, if you want to volunteer, you do the
Yeah.
background check, and you pay for it,
Yeah, I
so.
volunteered. Merrimack School District didn't need for the volunteer in school premises, but when I chaperoned outside, I had to do background check.
I think one of my concerns about us starting to pay for it though too, I mean, obviously we don't have a lot of volunteers, but let's say someone, you go through it, we pay for that, they don't end up showing up. Like volunteer, you don't know,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I guess I would say, if we keep the policy as it is, and if all of a sudden you have a lot of people and you have a lot of need for volunteers and all these people come forward, we can always
We can
vote
address
to
it.
reimburse them after the fact, right? I think
Okay.
that's, I mean,
Yeah.
especially if it's $10,
Yeah.
I don't know. If I'm saying if it's $10, if most people are really committed, they are like, that's fine, I'll do it,
Yeah.
so,
It's about the commitment.
yeah, so. But thank you for raising the point that he brought up in his email, and we can always, like I said, come back and address it, so. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? 400. Okay, great, thank you.
Thanks.
To accept as is.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Pardon me?
I said to accept as is.
To accept as is, I'm sorry.
As written, yeah.
As written, thank you. Okay. Staff policy manual was really long. I didn't have a chance to look through all of it. I started to, and then I was like, I'm going to need a little bit more time to do that. Is that something you need our approval on at some point?
Not
or
eventually, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the safety manual I
Mhm.
sent you. So most of it is the procedures that the staff would follow
Mhm.
for any different incident or event. And it's what we need from the board is approval of the statement of support that you are pledging to provide a safe work environment
Mhm.
for the staff. So that's kind of tucked in the beginning of it.
Can we put that as an action item for the June meeting, if people could, in your free time, peruse the manual and read through it? So that'll be an action item for June to make recommendations or any changes and look at the staff safety
Okay.
manual.
From now until June, do you think there'll be any edits?
For the safety manual, They have
Or the
one-
procedures, the thing that you
It's
sent us?
staff policy manual.
we didn't get to that one.
Okay, so it's the staff
it's
safety
the
ma-
staff
This
safety
is-
manual,
Safety
not the
manual,
step.
yeah.
It's not right in the agenda, because we changed it. But, I know the safety committee is planning to add a procedure for, a bomb threat, but they were gonna look at that draft, after summer reading.
Well, we can look at it.
I looked
and
at
then-
it.
And, okay. Did you have things you wanted to suggest now?
No,
going
well,
for-
everything seemed very thorough, and given that I'm not there. I figured that you have either between training and conversations, you stepped through everything. They were like missing words, and phone numbers need the area code now. That was one of the bigger
Mhm. Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
Yes.
But that,
So I wonder if there's, I mean, we want it to be done as accurately as
Absolutely.
possible. So I think if we notice things like that, would we email them those changes to you or to? So if people are reading through it and you see things and you want to email Yvette and CC me and whatever, just so that way it is done.
Yeah.
You know, because the more eyes, the better. And little
Absolutely.
things like that area code, it really can thwart you. You know, so it's good to have that, especially if you're looking at something in an emergency situation. You want to
Yeah.
make sure you're following all the protocols. So, and then we'll look at it and,
Sure. Okay.
you know. Okay. Great. Are there any other policies, Yvette, that I'm missing?
No.
Okay. The budget. We have a recap of invoices and the general ledger. Was there any questions for Yvette on budget?
I did.
Sohini, did you have any questions? Okay. Everybody's favorite, year-end expenditures. So, what are your thoughts? I think there were some things that you were asking your staff to keep an eye out for, yes, for things like.
The trust fund spending,
Mhm.
Yes.
which you just signed a couple of checks.
Yes.
Okay, so I think when you look at QuickBooks, if you could let me know if it makes sense, because how we track materials, we track them in Polaris, so the catalog, and Jen will work with Joanne and put in, this is the budget, and for adult fiction, it's whatever it is. And they do the same for trustee funds.
Okay.
And that's always estimated, so it's always been a little strange. But they want to make sure that what you're asking for is lining up to how it appears in Polaris,
Okay.
because it's a little different.
Okay.
You know, the Lawrence Carroll Patterson fund is broken out by 30%,
Right.
but, and 10%, but then in Polaris it's 1.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that we're doing what you want.
Okay.
So if you, and I noticed when I was writing the checks today that it's just trust fund. So it's like, okay, it's, you know.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
A lot of times, at least maybe not with this batch, but in the past, when it said trust fund, it'll say Watson, it'll say PLC, it'll say, or I can tell based off of what was spent, I can tell where it went.
Okay,
But that's all.
okay.
In reality, I'm more interested that like Children's knows that they have that money to
Yeah.
spend.
No, they always
and-
know, because I always give it to them
Yeah, okay.
when you tell us.
So yeah.
Okay.
So just looking ahead, you know, so that we're not caught unaware. So it is May. The fiscal year ends June 30th. What should we be looking for so that we can make decisions about how that money is distributed? Has your staff been thinking about what they want to do with money? Are we thinking about what we want to do with money? I'm just thinking about, you know, I don't want us to be caught like, oh, we have this extra money from staffing. Do we have a plan for that? Are we going to put it into buildings and maintenance towards the chiller, like, or, you know, that sort of thing? I guess I'm just throwing that out there. I don't have an answer. I'm just asking people to be thinking about this because it would be great if we had a plan in place.
Yeah, so far, what I've told them is that here are the building projects that you've gone over in your meetings over the past couple of months now,
Mhm.
and really, you know, the goal I'm hearing from you is we're gonna try and
Yep.
complete these
Okay.
projects.
I just want to make
So-
sure that, you know, we are all thinking about this because it is going to come upon us quickly, and
I
I
mean,
don't want to.
Well, you even added in I'm skipping, but in your director's report, the roof
Yeah.
again and the leaking. So I'm like, okay, now we have elevator, chiller, roof. I'm like, so
That's gonna be, yeah, that's different.
I know.
And he was gonna try and get me a quote by today, and he said that would
Yeah.
be really,
So I think that what I'm hearing is that any extra funds will be going into buildings and maintenance, because that's going to be where our focus is going to have to be
Yeah.
for the next. Okay, that's good. I just want to, have that out there, that that's our intention, and we'll move forward. Okay. Any other questions or thoughts about year-end expenditures?
There's a lot.
There is a lot. But, again, we find ourselves in a situation where things have to be done. You have to address a leak. You have to address an elevator. Like, these are not choices. You have to have safety. You have to have the right fire panel. It's
Absolutely.
just, everything is just kind of coming due as it does, and we're just going to keep checking it off the list. And that's why, thankfully, we have a capital reserve fund, and we have hopefully some money that we can use towards these things, and we'll just get it done and take care of the building. So,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Director's report.
Okay.
Before you start on your report, I just want to say I really do like having your goals at the end. I think that's great.
Okay.
It really is helpful. I think it's good just to keep it front of mind. That was just really nice. So thank you. I felt like the report was very thorough, and having that on there also was great. So thank you, Yvette.
Okay. You're welcome. So there were a couple of items that you would need to vote on that I didn't type in, that
Okay.
I missed one that Janet found, and then we got a book in, so here we go. We received a donation. Well, we haven't actually received the donation yet. Okay, well, I'm just gonna skip that one.
Okay.
Okay, that was about Garden in the Woods, which
Mhm.
we would like to add, but we haven't received the actual donation, so you have nothing to accept. yet.
Okay.
All right, but we got a couple of books that Kathy would like to add to her collection. We've got a copy of Who is Tom Brady by James Buckley Jr., and it was donated by Melissa Miller, so it's an early reader.
Is that one
And
of those bobblehead ones?
Oh, yeah, the who is who
yeah, kind
was.
of. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's an actual bobblehead one,
Oh.
but
Mhm.
I mean, I guess the ones I've seen back in the day,
I
they
like
were.
the who's. Who is.
Yeah, but it is.
No,
it who is.
that's the who is who was.
Yeah.
It looks very much, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's cool.
Yeah. And then we received an anonymous donation of Ballerina on Wheels, Amazing Ava's First Dance Recital, which Kathy would also like to add.
Mhm.
And we have Sheerluck Pup and Swatson Fly, The Case of the Missing Train, donated by the author Amy Creary. And this would also be another early reader.
That's cool.
So she would like to add those.
Can I see that title again?
Sheerluck Pup.
And Swanson Fly.
I make a motion to accept all 4 of the
3. Yes.
3 books that were donated, and whatever they are.
Okay, great. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Great. Thank you so much
That's so
for those.
cool. Thank
yeah.
you.
It is. It's really nice. Okay, we received a donation of $300 from the Friends. This is their quarterly general donation.
I make a motion to accept the Friends $300 donation.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Your hands are already up, 400. Thank you to the Friends.
Okay. Okay, moving on to personnel. I received a letter of resignation from Claudette Simoneau, and I gave you the PAR.
Yep, I will sign those before I leave.
Right.
Okay, great. Things I wanted to note. Again, I'm really glad that fire panel got done quickly. Like, we moved on that, we voted on it, it
Mhm.
was done, that's great. Also, I noticed in circulation that the online card renewal has been really successful. So that's great that people are already taking
That's
advantage
nice.
of that.
Yep.
So,
I'm still on personnel, though.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were like, okay. I thought you were like moving on, that we were.
You need to vote to accept her resignation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
jumping ahead of things. So, okay. I will make a motion that we accept Claudette Simoneau's resignation.
With regrets.
Okay.
And, oh, I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Thank you. 400. I'm sorry, Yvette.
That's
to go
okay.
ahead of you.
We're all moving.
We're like,
We're flying. Okay. The other thing is, I also gave you a PAR for
Mhm.
Claire,
Mhm.
and I can't think of her last name.
Sullivan.
Sullivan. She was our summer intern last summer, and then we kept her on as a sub, and she's available to come back and be our summer intern again.
Great.
Oh, nice.
So she'll start hopefully next Monday.
Okay, make a motion that we welcome Claire Sullivan back as our summer intern.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? 400.
Okay. And then I sent you in my report for the NAREA funds, those items that Kathy requested. I don't know if there was anything else in here that, one thing that Kathy did ask me to bring up when I met with her yesterday, maybe it was this morning, the July 4th parade. Children's Room is planning, as they always do every year, to have the library march in the July 4th parade. We usually promote the summer reading program, and the theme is Oceans of Possibilities. Yes.
I have a question that I went to the town center committee meeting fairly recently, and there seemed to be a serious question as to whether there was going to be a July 4th parade. Have you had it confirmed from,
Matt sent out the email.
he
So,
did,
as far as
recently?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Was this more recent? I can follow up.
It was last Friday.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember when I saw the email.
Okay.
But if there's a parade,
Okay.
we'd want to have the library represented. And Children's Room
Absolutely.
is ready to
Okay.
present oceans of possibilities.
Oceans of possibility. I've got it.
That's fun.
We don't know yet if we're allowed to hand out things like candy, because we haven't been able to in the past year. So usually I would come to the board and say, would you like to fund something with our logo? Do you all want to walk with us? I mean, we would talk about a little bit of how the board would be involved. And I'm not sure yet about the giveaway part. We still have June. If we end up ordering something, if you have ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She was thinking if we hand out things with our logo, she was thinking little bubbles, because we'll have our bubble guns again.
I wonder, I think that bubbles might be one of the things you don't want because you have lots of people blowing on things. So
Mhm.
that's,
Okay.
the bubble gun is different, right?
Yeah.
But bubble, I don't know about bubbles that you're, if they're letting you hand out stuff, I'd be curious what they would be okay
Okay.
with. Like, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Otherwise, it's candy.
Yeah, I don't think candy is probably gonna be a big thing, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you have to see what the town is okay with, so, yeah.
All right.
I don't know. It might not matter, we're outside, like, I don't, the rules change, people have different feelings about things, I don't know, so,
Yeah, I mean, it's still 2 months away.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see, we'll
Yeah.
see, okay.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Depending on, I mean, our meeting is the 21st, and the parade would be less than 2 weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you actually get something, order something and have it delivered before then?
I don't know.
Should we vote
mean-
to allot money, in the event that you are allowed to distribute something, so that once you get an answer, Kathy is not waiting for us to meet again in June? Would that be,
Sure.
how much do you know what Children's usually asks for?
I don't know, well,
Last year,
it's- I was
well,
gonna say.
3 years ago?
I know, I was
or-
gonna say.
Yeah, it would have been
Look.
2019 would have been the
Well,
last time.
Has it really been since 2019?
Yeah, because there wouldn't have been one 2020 or 21,
Wow.
so,
All right. I'll look. Give me a
okay.
second.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be good if we could say, in the event that she is able to order something, the trustees are willing to pay X amount towards it,
All
so.
right. Let's see.
All right, while Janet's looking that up, does anyone else have any thoughts or comments or questions for Yvette on her report?
I didn't.
Okay. And I already said mine in the middle of
I was gonna
personnel,
say,
so.
it was, exactly, it was thorough, though. There's a lot going on.
Mhm.
All right, summer reading.
A lot.
Programs. That would have been. Let's go to summer reading. Parade expenses.
Okay,
That was only, it's listed as parade expenses, it's only 130. Prizes. Summer reading, parade supplies, well, that's only 40. Parade supplies, 150. So, between, let's say these three, it's like 100, 200, 300, it's like about 350.
Yeah.
okay.
It's about it was like $300 or $400, I just
Yeah,
remember in my head.
I was gonna say, I was thinking about 400,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so did you want to make a motion?
Sure, let's provide up to $400 for, parade expenses.
Yeah,
Let's just
that's
say
great.
it that way?
Yep,
And I'll,
great. I will
I'll
second.
second.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
you
Karen will
did.
second.
Actually, let's do 500, because sometimes you get, like T-shirts or for like staff, or you do other things.
Okay, so you'd like to change your motion to
Yeah,
$500
And just for
for
parade
parade expenses in general.
And where do you want that to come out when I
Um.
start paying bills? If we get to
Special,
start paying bills. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
it-
okay, so we have a motion to pay $500
You mean
from
like
special.
Passport or?
Yeah,
Just
I
do
mean, 'cause-
passport.
okay.
I'm sorry, $500, which will be taken from passport for parade expenses.
Yep.
And Karen, you seconded the motion. Do you second that motion with all
Yep.
those notes? Okay. Any further discussion?
No, I think that's
Okay.
good.
All those in favor? 400. Thank you, Janet, for pointing out that, the meeting is going to be right before that. So at least now they have a little leeway for whatever they choose to do. So,
Mhm.
okay, great. We
And
have-
hopefully you'll be able to do something.
Yes. Before I move on, is there anything else that you would like to say, Yvette, so I don't cut you off
Oh.
again? So-
No, it's lovely to be here.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know if she's serious or not. Treasurer's report. We have the treasurer's report.
Yes. All right. Oh my gosh. I cannot see anymore. My glasses. All right. I'm looking at the balance sheet. This is as of April 30th. Fines started with $7,080.74, and we ended with $7,286.98. And then special started with $39,722.88.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
Absolutely. $39,722.88.
Okay.
And then our ending balance was $41,461.32. And Karen, are you good?
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
No problem. I would like to move money that was deposited into fines and move it into special.
Okay.
It's the non-resident cards. Those are now go into special. So there were 2 that happened in April,
Okay.
and I just want, they've been
Sure.
accounted for correctly. We just need to move the funds now.
Okay.
So I'd like to move the $200 from fines to special.
Okay, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? 400. Can I just ask a question for my own knowledge? You
Yeah.
said they're now going to special. Is there a
They've been in special. It's
Okay.
just like pre-QuickBooks, pretty much. It was a fee,
Okay.
so pretty much anything that was a fee went into fines. But after reading the RSA and also talking to a bunch of other libraries, I'm like, let's just move it to special, because then we can spend it any way we want.
Okay.
And fines was really specific.
Okay.
This is what fines is, specific on how you can spend it. So
Okay.
it was nicer to just move it into special.
Okay, great.
Did
Thank you.
anybody second that move?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
thank
Yep.
you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Janet. Thanks for catching that, Karen. Okay, do you have anything else for us, Janet?
Nope. That's it.
Okay. Karen?
Did we vote?
We did.
We did.
You voted for it. So
I did, yeah.
I think I just had my
Oh, okay, well,
hand
let me redo it. So
No,
then,
no,
you're
no,
like,
I had my
wanna
hand up
make
in the
sure-
air just in case you slipped it by me. And you-
Okay.
And you did.
And I did, so we're good, yes. So it's just a clerical, that is more
Yep,
just an
yep.
administrative clerical type thing. So, okay, great. All right, acceptance of minutes. So thank you for getting those to Tom. We appreciate that very much.
Yes, he's getting used to,
Oh. I
What's
wanna
the
make-
matter?
I'm sorry. I want to make a comment. That was a great letter from the Children's Hospital. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That
very
was-
nice. That was great for Jennifer, and that was so nice.
Yeah. Thank you, I'll let her know.
Okay, the minutes. I think the only thing I wanted to mention, it's a very small correction. The action items at the end should be April action items, not March action items. It's very small.
so I'll fix it though.
Yep, that's not a big deal.
I didn't even catch that.
Was there anything else that people noticed? Okay, then I will make a motion to accept the public meeting minutes from April 25th.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? 400. We still have not voted on the February ones. We did not in March because Mr. Druin was not here and he is not here again. So we still have those. They're in draft mode. We will just wait for the final approval when he is with us again. So, okay. Let's see, where are we? Committee updates. Building Exploratory Committee has not met. The Friends of the Merrimack Public Library did meet. They have a lot of things going on. Do you want to talk about what they're doing? You want me to mention?
Oh, you go.
Okay, so there's going to be a book sale, which we're really excited about. It'll be on, I want to make sure I get the dates correct. So I wrote down June 10th and 11th, but there was a lot of talk back and forth. It's really, the members, I believe, are meeting that Friday, and then the actual book sale would be during regular library hours on that Saturday. It is the 11th,
Yes.
isn't it? Right, June 11th. And I believe the intention is that there will be just a regular book sale, and then the last hour will be the bag sale. So it's
Oh.
not going to go into Sunday. We did talk about if they did eventually want to go back to a 2-day one. I volunteered you all that we would figure out a way to make it work. Only because on a Sunday, if the library's closed, kind of
Oh.
steering people towards the book sale, but that the library's closed, just as other people to kind of, But for right now, I think this is a great plan. They're just starting off with that and having the book sale and seeing how everything goes. So that was very exciting news. So, yeah, I think they're also supporting some things that the summer reading program, some things that Kathy had asked them to do. So we are very grateful for that, and some things that Max wanted to do with prizes for the adult summer reading program. So they have a lot of things that they are supporting us with, and I think that people are going to be really, really happy to have the book sale come back. So, were there any other things that they talked about that I'm missing?
There's their annual meeting.
Which will be the Friday before the
Right.
book sale. Yep. So
Is the library accepting donations?
Yes.
she said that very quietly, but the answer is yes. So-
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, we're really excited. That's going to be great. Thank you to the friends for being willing to give this a try. They really were very thoughtful about how they wanted to proceed with it. So, that'll be great. Just in time for summer. So, the Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee is meeting this Thursday.
Wednesday.
Oh,
It's tomorrow.
I thought it was on Thursday. It's Wednesday. I'm sorry, they're meeting tomorrow. Okay.
At the library in person.
Okay. My apologies. You know how when you get something in your head and you have it like that's the day it's going to be, and then you just are stuck with it. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow also. So, at 5 o'clock. Okay. Town center.
Yeah, I have some good notes from the Town Center Committee, and I have misplaced them. What I can say, though, is that they, the committee is somewhat revitalized. There is the there are new members. Merrimack TV has a representative, Public Works has a representative, and
That's great.
it's a group of 10 now that are very active. The schools, of course, have a representative, and so a lot of people can contribute and work towards these projects that were originally the Town Center Committee's charge by the town council that made the whole thing start in the first place. So where the library is going to be located, that, so far from our discussions of where we were thinking, there's going to be a lot of construction and development activity there. I don't know if you're aware, but when you go past the Twin Bridges Park, the bridge is scheduled to be redone, but also the banks of the river have collapsed, and all of that is, and Wire Road is going to be reconfigured. All of those things are being actively worked on and funded because there are now federal funds as well as state funds that are available that haven't been before. So there's going to be some serious activity in the next 2 or 3 years. And everybody is very happy about it because we've been kind of stalled since there hasn't been any money. So I will find my notes, and next month and we do have another meeting before this one, next month's. So I will make sure I get you detailed updates.
Great, that's exciting, thank you. Okay, Personnel Committee, have not met. Finance, Sohinigo and Mike have not met, no, okay. Finance Committee, we really do need to meet though to do the Quimby thing, so perhaps you and I can put that on our agenda to schedule a meeting.
Sure.
And that brings us to April action items, which are us meeting, Finance Committee, the trustees looking over the action item, the safety manual, and I'm coming back to approve that statement. Let's see, what else was there? I'm going to email back Jason. I will let you know once I hear from Ann Warner and we can set up a date. So I think those same things. We are waiting for, Yvette will get more information about the railing, like what it's going to be like. And then we're just waiting for more information on the quotes from the chiller, right? We're still waiting on the.
Well, that has to go out as an RFP.
So you're waiting to hear from Tom on her,
Because
okay.
that was his recommendation.
Right, 3.
Projects
I
over
thank you. Yeah.
$10,000.
So we have to get somebody to come in and, okay. Everything is just one thing after another. It's a big project, though. We want to make sure it's done correctly, so I think that's the right step to do. Thank you for refreshing my memory, so.
The stairs out front,
Yep.
are those done?
No. I brought that up with Paul when I saw him last week at his meeting, and he recommended that I contact Kyle.
Okay.
Because Kyle has more contact, he said, with the engineer who had looked under the steps and had a plan, so that's in process too.
And what happened with the roof? I saw in the director's notes.
We have
about
a
the
leak. This is a older problem where the slate roof, what our vendor who came in said on Friday when he walked the roof, was that 7 years ago when his company did the roof restoration on the flat roof, he had presented to the board or submitted to the board a quote to work on the slate roof. And at the time, the question was, do you want to replace it with slate, or do you want to replace it with a product that's similar to what's on the dog houses on the flat roof, which is not a slate. And the underlying material under the slate is, he said it was in poor condition 7 years ago, and now it's in more poor condition. It has failed. So, we have leaks, and there's a leak. I don't remember when I mentioned it or when it came up in the maintenance building list, but there's a leak between the teen room and the 1979 building, which, that's where the two buildings meet. But Scott said, the water could be coming in from any location and running and appearing inside on our ceiling tiles here. You know, so he's going to put together a proposal for, you know, taking everything off and putting a new membrane underneath and replacing the slate with new slate with this other product, or kind of like a patch repair on the east side, which is the roughest side. But he took many, many pictures, and he'll send me some of these pictures so you can see what it actually looks like up there. So, but I don't have the quote yet.
So that will be again,
Yeah.
maybe in the next ones,
Yeah,
if we have the code.
yeah, that's something that's always included in the CIP requests, but we didn't ever have, well, we had a quote from 7 years ago, which isn't gonna be the same anymore. But the board needs to decide, what do you want to do about the building in terms of, you know, we're not on an historic registry. It's a long process to get on a historic registry, which is not impossible, it just means a committee. And there's lots of pieces to it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's
lots-
wait and get his quotes and see in the, you know, and I'm not saying this is what we'll do, but it may be that we say we have to patch it because we have other bigger projects right now.
Yeah.
We don't know. We'll just have
Right.
to
Right.
get the quotes and see,
Right.
and we have to assess in order of importance. We certainly don't want leaks. We don't want damage. We also need a functioning elevator, right? So there's
Right.
just, there's lots of things to be considered, so. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Sorry.
So, I will read the upcoming events, and then we're gonna go into non-public briefly. So, upcoming events, the Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee is meeting tomorrow, May 18th at 5 PM, but in person,
Yes.
not on Zoom. Friends of the Library will be meeting May 23rd at 7 PM in the Clump Room, and our next trustee meeting is on June 21st at 7 o'clock. Is there anything else before we go into non-public? Okay, then I will make a motion that we go into non-public per RSA 91A3 2C. Is there a second? Okay, and we'll do a roll call vote to go into non-public. So Sohini? Karen?
Yes.
Janet?
Yes.
And I say yes, and so we'll go to non-public at 8:08. Thank you.